Now let's go to Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz. He is the chair of the Democratic Governors Association and the co-chair of the DNC Rules Committee, which tomorrow will set the dates for the nominating process. Thanks so much for being with us. Donnie Deutsch is with us on set in New York and has the first question. Donnie.
Governor, nice to chat with you. Minnesota, which for decades, of course, has gone very blue. All of a sudden, the Republicans think that it could be in play, that it could be a toss-up state. Obviously, Democrats in tremendous transition over the last few days. There'll be a response to that.
Yeah, a lot of transition in the right way, Donnie. Good to see you all this morning. I agree with everything JB said, except best place in America to be. Sitting here in Minneapolis today, the excitement is palatable. And look, the Rules Committee is going to get this thing done. As JB said, there's huge excitement. If it's any indication, my 17 and 23-year-old kids said TikTok's on fire. They're back engaged. You can feel it. The donors are back. And look, Minnesota's always closer than people think. But look, since 72, we've made the right pick. We made the right pick with Mondale. We're going to stick with making sure that that President Harris will come through Minnesota. We'll deliver our 10 electoral votes.
Governor, it's Lauren Leader. I wanted to ask you, I think that Minnesota is such an interesting sort of analogy for the country, right? You've got the big cities, you've got rural parts of the state, and you have been steadily moving to be this blue Democratic trifecta. What have you learned in bringing together the rural and the urban voters in your state that you think the Harris campaign can use to really engage some parts of America that have really turned quite red, particularly the rural parts of the country? What should they take from the Minnesota story?
Yeah, the Midwest is the key. And look, I represented Joe was talking about Steve King. My district bordered Steve King's, and on the other side was Michelle Bachmann. What I know is that people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small-town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. It's not about hate. It's not about collapsing in. The golden rule there is mind your own damn business. Their policies are what destroyed rural America. They've divided us. They're in our exam rooms. They're telling us what books to read. And I think what Kamala Harris knows is bringing people together around the shared values, strong public schools, strong labor unions that create the middle class, health care that's affordable and accessible. Those are the things. You look what they're talking about. They went right to division. They did not give us a plan on health care. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris built bridges, built roads. So I think this is going back to the bread and butter, getting away from this division. We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight that is unnecessary. and I think bringing back people together, well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, you know, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in. And there is angst because robber barons like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump gutted the Midwest, told us we didn't do that. They talk about private schools. Where in the heck are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Those are public schools. Those are great teachers that are out there making a difference and gave us an opportunity to succeed. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale, and none of them went on to be venture capitalists or whatever. It's not who people really are. So I think that message doesn't resonate. You saw it yesterday. The energy out here exploded. We all broke fundraising records, but that's not what I look at. Door knocks are full. Phone banks are full. People are talking about what's possible. We are finally on offense about an America where we're all together. So good. Have Orban down to Florida. The vice president will come out here and stand in a Planned Parenthood. She stands in a Planned Parenthood clinic in St. Paul. That's what people want to see.
All right. Send that man on the road. I hope you're planning to spend some time in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania over the next several months. Thank you so much, Democratic Governor.
I am in Chicago.
And Chicago, of course.
Chicago. JB's picking up the tab, so I'm there. I'm there to his party.
I hear, Governor, that Chicago is the second best place to be in America in summer. Only behind Minnesota.
I agree.
All right, Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, thank you so much. And thank you so much for reminding us that Minnesota, the one state that did not go for Richard Nixon in 1972.